ever in this particular season. I think say French club it's may define that particular history in the UEFA Champions League. I think in 1992-1993 season, when UEFA making sure some more rebranding from European Cup to UEFA Champions League, the first club ultimately Edison in Arsenal was a French football club. That was Olympique de Marseille. Ultimately Edison in Arsenal. And as also at Aquaba BC said, rebranding the UEFA Champions League from the old format to the new format now. A PSG Football Club history, it's me I'm making it clearly. I'm PSG Football Club, or me winning the UEFA Champions League, as the second French club, or me edition now. So after Olympique de Marseille in 1992, or Moje at that time, now be you pay about the Olympique de Marseille. Then you talk about Inter Milan. The last time teams edged treble against Inter Milan, Celtic edged their first European Cup. They won treble, and then that particular season, they played Inter Milan in the European Cup, and they were able to win against Inter Milan. Manchester City, winning treble, they won against Inter Milan, an Italian team, and then they continued to win their treble. Completely treble. So me seeing PSG Football Club, so winning Coupe de France, winning French League, or the last match against Inter Milan, I had that particular omen say, and PSG can easily win that particular, Champions League against Inter Milan. But then I had that kind of faith in Simeone Inzaghi. Say he can easily turn things around. When they talk about history, he can easily turn things around. Not forgetting about Kwanya PSG for also a completely on trouble side with Inter Milan. But who study the reign of the UEFA Champions League? You can easily imagine, say, at Allianz Arena, it has always emerged new Champions League winners. It's Makuyi Ediamom at Allianz Arena. With Nottingham Forest, it's Mejiomo the Allianz Arena in that particular season of emerging very well. Yes.
Morocco media deal. Teams if I I want when
yeah. Oh yes, but that season they don't be jumping now. So
no, I said I'm coming on Thomas. So we team gets it.
Team gets it.
I want the first time with them. My and I want to use that. But said a quite big team.
England second most successful club.
Let me resolve a castle first.
After Liverpool, club here in England.
And I am teams are doing the
Mean but I fact.
What big way?
We Liverpool through Chelsea is the second most successful club in England. How do you say it? So Arsenal do a hand
conference. Team Kesebia, not time for Olympic Marseille, Dortmund, Chelsea, PSG, Omunina, Zangu for Libya. Why is your question? Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool. Oh,
when they look correct. But then in 1979, Nottingham Forest won that 10. Allianz Arena. Then you talk about Olympique de Marseille in 1993, almost a winning Allianz Arena, and then Borussia Dortmund in 1997. Then you talk about Chelsea Football Club in 2012 and PSG in 2025. So history at Chelsea at Allianz Arena. Team be able Allianz Arena Biano, it means a new winner in the UEFA Champions League. It means completely that particular history at the UEFA Champions League. But with PSG it means passing through all phases of life in football. And PSG story it means say when you were a man as a whatever that will come in your way, you should back up and make sure so you never give up in every form of life. At this particular crucial moment. This is a particular PSG football club in the latter days of 1969-1970, when they wanted to merge the football club with other football clubs. Paris and France. The clubs avoided the merger of Stade Saint-Germain. The side of Paris, because they thought that why say Stade Saint-Germain belonged to the people more Paris. The only football club and Paris for indigenous football people believe it was Paris FCR. This season qualified from the French League 2 French League they were the only football club that the people in Paris believe they can easily become that kind of big football club in that particular near future, because they had a lot of facilities, they had a lot of money to invest within their football club. But Stade Saint-Germain was a particular football club and not many facilities, and then financial matters also was very low, but they had that kind of resourceful personnel. No, me running the football administrative issue. I'm a football and as a football club, it's me pay. So in latter part of 1970, when Stade Saint-Germain was turned down by one particular football club, France. No, they talked and as they spoke with Paris FC, they accepted that particular bid. Boom as Paris Saint-Germain to become a football club in Paris, just to signify the people, just to identify the heredity and also the culture of Paris as an economic town in the side of France. But after so much in the year 1974, no, on certain circumstances between setting in with Paris Saint-Germain, with the side and the major in that particular town, Paris, they didn't accept the fact that Omitimia come boom as Star Saint-Germain boom with the local indigenous football club by Eukromon. They needed to go in their split ways. Guy Crescent and Pierre Etienne, who were seen as the main administrative people of Paris Saint-Germain, needed to go away and making sure that the third tier in French football and Paris Football Club will remain in that particular side, no. And to me, I'm calling from Paris Saint-Germain. Talk also restructure, essence create a new model for Paris Saint-Germain. They came back in the French League in the latter days of 1980s, came back to win the French League came back to win the Coupe de France, and they are on the course of making sure that they will do a lot of things for their football club. Facing a lot of ownership business at Ankoye and Fama PSG Football Club. From the side of Canal Plus Beso Football Club, and making sure that we invest into PSG. Into Ankoye, then came a certain Carter for investment fund almost buyer, invest in PSG Football Club. When they invested, they were having that particular money, but the resourceful personnel as to the reason why a good coacher coach PSG Football Club now, it was quite a difficult moment for PSG Football Club. And they continue with that particular project. And then Nasser El Khelaïfi, together with Luis Ocampos, had accomplished that particular history as PSG Football Club, becoming that particular first president of the football club to win the UEFA Champions League and becoming the first sporting director to win the UEFA Champions League for them. It has become a good history for PSG Football Club. Not only for the PSG, not only for the club president and sporting director, but so check Luis Enrique. When he started winning his treble against an Italian side called Juventus Football Club in 2015, he had won that particular treble with his assistant called Raphael Paul within that particular season. He had his daughter on the pitch called Diane, and that particular girl remembered that particular kind of difficulties. Luis Enrique after sending Baba and he wanted to come back in football, but then he did not because of the kind of memory. They spoke with PSG Football Club and he accepted that particular fact. In 2023, Chelsea Football Club would have had that kind of chance to sign Luis Enrique to become the coach of Chelsea Football Club. But then they neglected Luis Enrique because of language difficulties. And I say because of communication problem. Because I say uncap proper English or maintain signing and for number Chelsea Football Club. He needed to come to PSG Football Club. They explained the policy, the sporting decision rule to Luis Enrique and his assistant, Raphael Paul. He accepted that particular fact. Needed to come into that particular difficult moment for PSG Football Club. And in this particular season, he has overcome that particular tragedy that happened to him in the latter part of 2017 when his 9-year daughter, ultimately because of bone cancer, ultimately recalled from that particular moment. He came to PSG, winning the Coupe de France, winning the French League 1, and winning the UEFA Champions League for the first time in history, not only for himself, but the second time in history for himself as a coach, winning trouble with PSG and winning trouble with FC Barcelona. But so they call also assistant Raphael Paula, also 6 months ago, and in those kind of months. They didn't suffer a long illness for close to about 6 to 7 months and winning the Champions League for PSG Football Club at that particular moment. It became an emotional moment for Raphael Paul as also an assistant to the side of Luis Enrique for PSG Football Club. Not only with these particular two coaches. So we'll check it on Roma, the kind of fans who are ending in love with AC Milan. Offering AC Milan ever PSG Football Club now, it became a big controversial effort for the people of AC Milan because at that time, 16-year-old guy, Sinisa Milhanovic, etimna bench Diego Lopez, who 16-year-old boy, but then from AC Milan, near making sure so better restore the glory days of AC Milan during that particular moment in time now. Or then with that expense of Odru, 17 years now, they need to give him a new contract or obtain for 8 million euros per year. AC Milan for the man. Or renewing a second contract or obtain for 10.5 million euros a year, AC Milan for making sure Sasasi Kandi or from Accra say be waiting 19 years. PSG needed to come in and solve that particular issue. All PSG Football Club, no. AC Milan fans accuse him say or PSG because of money at $2 at the Bruno the side of AC Milan at the time and all than the last venue at the other side of AC Milan. He has come to PSG Football Club and he has stabilized to make history with PSG. Not only him, Marquinhos, he has showed say he has overseeded his loyalty to the football club called PSG Football Club. Ofri Corinthians, Eba AS Roma. Ofri AS Roma, Aba PSG Football Club. Or by number 2, David Luiz Eberto, the side of Thiago Silva. He understudied and made sure that the experience of David Luiz and even Thiago Silva would make him become well-experienced centre-back in the modern times he will currently to speak. 12 years in existence as a quality leader for the side of PSG Football Club. A lot of football clubs ever now him, but he demanded say he will win the UEFA Champions League for PSG Football Club. Vitinha, he has become a fine diamond who needed to be well polished by Luis Enrique. We know Vitinha from Wolverhampton Wanderers, from the side of Benfica to Wolverhampton Wanderers. When he came to Wolverhampton Wanderers, he needed to go to the side of PSG Football Club. He needed that kind of coach who would direct him. For João Neves, a natural history maker that he had that history with Benfica. When he used Benfica to win the National Youth League in the last 60 years, and now Benfica phone to me, we need that National Youth League, you know. He used Benfica to win that particular National Youth League in the last 60 years. When he came to PSG, he has been able to make sure say he will be in the history books of PSG Football Club. Desire Doué has become the 8th young guy to score praise in the UEFA Champions League. So PSG story, not only about the PSG as a football club, but the complete certain part of PSG winning the UEFA Champions League, has become a beautiful story. What time?
So Champions League winner now didn't come out with that animation. Go born, I hear no boy.
I know and found that. What's our nice player.
First half, 42 passes, 42 completed. One misplaced one.
I didn't say UCL ABOU for Pyre. Mami Kika Mrs. Kakabu, good afternoon to you. I think Vitinha deserved the Ballon d'Or more than the Dembele in the PSG team.